So what have I been up to lately in the spring garden? Well, it's not so sunny at the moment, but all the plants are looking really good. And it's a lovely time of year to be getting out and just do a little bit of maintenance gardening. Well, I've been dodging the showers and planting some things out from the greenhouse. So by the wildlife pond, I've now planted a little pink china, and the ferns are really coming to life. I do really love a fern in the garden, especially in those shady spots. And these ones here are underneath some Virginiae and some tree ferns. And they look really good under there. Just tucked underneath the other plants. I'm loving the way at this time of year that all the ferns are now starting to unfurl. And you can just see in there all the new growth starting to emerge. The little heart's tongues ferns, I trimmed these back a few weeks ago, and all of the new fronds are now unfurling, and it won't be long before these make a good size again. The ground cover plants are now also springing into life with their blue flowers, and these are a really unusual plant, as you don't really see that sort of colour very often in the garden. And just down the side of the pathway you can see that I've been buying some more little ferns, and I just wanted these just to edge the pathway underneath the bamboos. And the mind your own business is slowly spreading also, and that's coming now through the pathway. I've just got to remember to keep that well watered, as it does like damp conditions. And the garden is looking really good now. The Schefflera Taiwaniana has stayed really good throughout the winter, and if you just look in there you can see that there's lots of new growth just starting to emerge. The saxifraga in the garden, this is now growing back beautifully, and this looks a little bit like a heuchera, but the difference is with these is that they do die down throughout the winter to below soil level, and then they just come back up in the spring. And there's also a tiny little one just growing around the edge of this pathway here. The Tetrapanax, I just can't believe the growth that this has put on already. And I fed the garden last week with some chicken manure pellets, and so this plant now will be loving the extra nutrients. I was looking back at some videos from only 4 weeks ago, and just to see how small this plant was then. This is definitely one of my favourite plants in the garden. And this one now has probably got close on a 2-foot trunk, and this will be his 3rd year. I'm also loving the really bright pink colours on this Photinia Louise, and you can see that it is different from the red robin. And those leaves really are a bright pink colour. Beautiful plant. Now walking down the garden towards the greenhouse, you can see that the John Phillips is starting to flower. They're not open yet, but this plant is just covered with some large flower buds. This plant is 3 years old now, and it's grown into a really beautiful plant. I've only ever had one flower on it last year, but this year it is absolutely full of buds, and I can't wait for these to come out with their beautiful honey scent. I've also had a little jig about with the triangular bed, and I thought I'd place the bird table down here as it's a little bit more out of the way. And also I got to find some places to put my dahlias. They are really growing lovely now in the greenhouse. So in the greenhouse, there's only 1 or 2 of the dahlias that haven't come through yet. And these are doing really well. So I've got my stakes at the ready. And there's also a few more here. And the banana that I bought the other week, that's doing really well. This here is a red alstroemeria, and it's just starting to flower. So at some point I'll have to get this into the garden. The tree fern has managed to stay green all winter, and it is quite protected in the garden. And it's the first year that we've had a tree fern, and it's lovely to see now that in there the new fronds are starting to come out, and it's looking really healthy. The bananas are doing really well in the garden, and the second leaves now are coming through. It's normal that we'll lose these first leaves, as when the new leaves come out I'll just chop them half leaves back. But everything's looking really good in the garden. We've got lots of palm trees in the garden, but this one here is my favourite. This is a Trachycarpus virginia, and I think this is the most healthiest one that we've got in the garden, and the leaves on this are absolutely superb. It always looks a lovely dark green in colour, and there's plenty of new growth coming out in the centre. And it really is a wonderful plant. Such a graceful plant as well. Always looks fantastic in the garden, no matter what the weather. The border along the bottom of the garden is also looking good. I love the euphorbias, and they do really well along this back spot of the garden. There's another Trachycarpus virginia there. And everything now is looking really green. There's also lots of new growth appearing on the bamboos at this time of year, and all of these have been given some chicken manure pellets. This is a Fargesia rufa, which means it's a clump forming bamboo, so it doesn't run all over the garden. And these ones have a very graceful arching stem, and they do spread quite big in the garden, but they never become a problem. I'm particularly liking this bamboo at the moment, and this is a Fargesia robusta Campbell, and you can see there the stripy stems. Very different, more of an upright bamboo to the Fargesia rufa. And this has been in the ground now for 2 years, and I think it's growing up to about 5-6 foot tall now at the moment. The stems are getting quite thick now on this plant, and it is looking really healthy. And I do really like the striped stems. Such a different looking bamboo. And the Acer has also started putting on some lovely coloured leaves. And that looks beautiful, just gently blowing in the wind. The clematis that I've got in the pot has definitely put on a little bit of size. And it will soon be time now just to tie that in to keep it looking tidy. And it's a lovely time of year just to see the new growth starting on all the plants.